because the Western Conference Finals is starting right now. OKC against Minnesota. AJ said it after the first quarter. I don't know the score right now, but after the first quarter, Minnesota was up. What you got the score with me right now? What's the score?
It's 40-36.
Who
40 to
up?
36. Minnesota.
Ooh,
3 minutes
Minnesota.
19 seconds left in the second quarter.
Okay, low scoring game. Low scoring
Yep.
game. 40-36. Defensive battle. We got two young guys. You got Anthony Edwards against Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You got guys who want to crown Anthony Edwards as a face of the league. They just want to do it. But then you got Shea. When you look at his play, he's on to be an MVP. Won 68 games. So you would think like he should be the face of the league. But Anthony Edwards, very loud, and he's a high playoff performer also. So in the playoffs, they kind of neck and neck. So AJ, I know you a Timberwolves guy on the low. All right. I mean, on a high kind of when it comes to your boy AE. You an Anthony Edwards guy. You've been supporting him since he been in the league. So AJ, give me your prediction. Who's winning the Western Conference Finals? Who's going to punch their ticket to the NBA Finals in the first time in team history to potentially win a Finals? Is it the Timberwolves or the Oklahoma City Thunder? Hold on. Why AJ talk, y'all? I got y'all right here. Go ahead.
Man, honestly, I was thinking about this today, and I don't want to make an emotional decision. I don't want to make an emotional pick. The emotional pick is Minnesota, because I'm rooting for Minnesota. I want Minnesota to advance to the finals. I want Minnesota to win the finals.
Okay.
I'm picking OKC, man.
Oh my gosh!
I'm picking OKC games, bro. In 6 games, bro. And it's no shade to the Timberwolves. It's no shade to the Timberwolves. But when I look at OKC, we kind of talked about this last episode, Joe. That Nuggets series told me a lot. It told me that they ready to at least get to the finals. We get to finals predictions when they get here if they make it. But it showed me that they ready to take that step. I can't use the experience against OKC no more. So if you take the experience out and say, they got enough experience to now go to the finals to potentially win, they the best team remaining, bro, overall. They're the best team remaining. They got a few things going in their favor. Number one, home court advantage for them is a big thing. These boys, they played now. Again, it's a close game right now, but this is a prediction that I want to have, and I want to be concrete before the series starts. So I ain't watching the game. We just talking about what my thoughts are before the series start. They play so well at home, bro. And they have the ceiling that says, at any point, we might beat y'all by 40. At any point, we might go off and beat y'all by 40 to 45 points. Like, that's just how they play. Their defense is sticky, right? They get every deflection, every turnover. They convert fast break opportunities. When it's a turnover, it's not a 1-on-1. It's always a 3-on-1. It's always a 2-on-1. They're young and they running. So they got that going in their favor. Their defense, is going to find a way to get the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hands a lot. So it's going to fall on the others. I do like Julius Randle in this series because even though that OKC's bigs are there, they're frail. They don't have a ton of muscle mass, right? And so I still think he's going to kind of have his way, kind of dip his shoulder and put it in them guys' sternum and be able to get to the basket and get layups. But in the first series, they played a Lakers team with no big. In the second series, they went up against a Golden State Warriors team with Draymond in the paint, who's a great player, but a smaller guy, smaller defender. And you're going to get most rebounds over Draymond if you're hustling, if you're a Rudy Gobert, if you're a Nasri, or you're a Julius Randle. Of course, they throw Looney in there here and there, but Looney really ain't play all year like that. You want to throw Looney in there in the playoff series, Looney ain't going to have, he not going to give you what you need for an entire playoff series. They tried it, and it didn't work. But in this series, you got Hartenstein, right? You got Chet down there getting rebounds. So I don't think the rebound discrepancy is going to be a big thing. They're going to need Julius Randle not only as a scorer, but as a ball handler as well. Like, he's going to have to put the ball on the ground a little bit here. And they're going to need guys to make shots. It can't just be Ant, because they're going to get the ball out of his hands as much as possible. And I still think he's going to be effective, but they're going to get the ball out of his hands as much as possible. They gonna need Julius, but they also gonna need guys like Nas Reed step up. They gonna need Jaden McDaniels step up. Mike Conley got to hit open shots. Dante DiVincenzo, where you at? They really gonna need Dante in this series to help space the floor. And we seen Dante have big time playoff games. But when you go back and you watch the OKC series versus Denver, the games that they won, Joe, think about it. You had big games from Jamal Murray and Jokic, right? But in those games, you still needed Aaron Gordon's game winner in game one and him dominating the boards. You still needed MPJ in game three, his 21 and 8 in game three. You needed Julian Strother to come in and give you 15 off the bench in game six. And this is with Murray and Jokic having great games. You still needed one or two extra guys that's gonna come in and ball to match what OKC was bringing to the table. So you gonna need that if you Minnesota. And last but not least, Anthony Edwards, bruh, 5 of 19, 9 of 22, 8 of 22, not gonna cut it in this series. It's just not. 22 points a game on 60, what is it? I'm sorry, 36, 32 splits, shooting splits. It's not going to cut it in this series, bro. He going to have to be lights out in order to win this series. And so when I think about everything that they bring to the table, I do like the Wolves defensively. I do like them defensively, but I think nothing is stopping SGA from getting in the paint and playmaking for others. And these guys are snipers from the outside. I think Chet is a dog as well. And so I think offensively they will be fine. I think it comes down to the Wolves at the end of the day being stout defensively, playing these boys 94 feet, being as physical as possible. But when I look at it, I think OKC is the better overall team. And what I just said is a lot. You need a lot from Ant. You need a lot from Julius Randle. And then you turn around, you need a lot from a Nas Reed or a Jaden or a Mike Conley or Dante DiVincenzo to get you through. And that's to give you a shot in most cases, not even a win sometimes against OKC. That's to give you a shot. And OKC got the home court advantage. I hate to say it, bro. I'm not counting them out. I wouldn't be shocked if they won. And then I didn't even mention the fact that they go on these offensive dry spells that you just can't have in this series, where their offense is just clunky and disorganized. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. And I hate to agree with you on this. I know where you're going with it. But I got to go with OKC, and I'm going with OKC in 6.
Woo, AJ, you surprised me, man.
Yeah, I know.
That's how you know OKC is good, man.
Okay.
He didn't even say 7. He said 6.
6, bro. I think it's a 6 game.
Listen, man.
But they doing their thing right now though, so I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Julius Randle got 18 points.
He hoopy 20 now. He hoopy.
Oh yeah, my guy Julius Randle. But it's OKC in 5. I'm going 5. Yeah. That's what we disagree. OKC in 5. OKC Thunder. This is the crazy thing about OKC. They are the 3rd worst out of all the teams in the NBA as far as playoffs. All 16 teams. They are shooting the 3rd worst from 3. 3rd worst. And yet, they are in the Western Conference Finals. And it's because of what you said, AJ. Their defense. They are so disruptive. Right now in the playoffs, the Timberwolves and OKC, they're the best 2 teams out of all 16 teams that played in defensive rating. Only difference is the Minnesota Timberwolves are second at 106. OKC is number 1 at 101. It's a gap. They are just relentless defensively. Out of all the remaining teams, they are first in opponents, and they are first in steals, in blocks, in opponents' points or turnovers, in opponents' second chance points. They are first in everybody in field goal percentage allowed. They are just relentless defensively. They are the only team that made Jokic not look like the best player in the NBA. The only team I've seen done that since Jokic won his first MVP in the playoffs on a consistent basis. So Jokic had 2 games this whole series when he was good. And he had 1 game when he fouled out in the 3rd quarter. That's how crazy it is with OKC. And like you said, you go watch the game, AJ, and it could be, let me guess, 41-40, kind of like Denver and OKC. And you can tell your wife and be like, can you pause the game? Oh, you know what? Don't pause. It's cool. I'm going to go run to the bathroom quick. Go to the bathroom, and you come back, and OKC went on a 14-0 run.
Quick.
Like that. And you're like, what happened? Caruso get a steal. Jalen Will get a steal. SGA get a steal. Kassan Wallace get Casey Wallace get a steal. I mean, it's just ridiculous how relentless, like you said, they get every deflection. They constantly poking at the ball. I mean, I'm talking about everybody. Jokic getting these turnovers that he's getting, and you can't look at it and say, "What are you doing, Jokic?" It's really just they hunting the basketball. Caruso, I I gotta find a clip when I say this. On R2L, we did a segment when we asked who won the offseason, right? As far as like free agency on that stuff. And I said, I know this team didn't make a big splash, but I think it's OKC because they got rid of Josh Giddey, who is pretty good in Chicago, but he's not a good fit with them because he can't shoot. He's not going to handle the ball. It's SGA's job. And he just wasn't, he can't stand in the corner. He can't shoot. So they got rid of him and brought in Caruso. Everything everybody kept saying, no experience. What they bring in? They bring in Caruso, a guy who has experience and who does all the extra stuff that you don't have to worry about. The like the defense of the like all that stuff that you love. A guy who don't have all the talent. He is very talented for real. Y'all saw me first came in the league. I mean, man, is talented. All right, and he actually came to the league with OKC, by the way. And they add Hartenstein, another guy with experience. So listen, man. I said this in the last episode. We talked about the Warriors, and you might disagree with me with this. I felt like people were overhyped Minnesota. What they did at LA, they beat LA in 5, and then people might say, "Oh, they're gonna win the championship," or Minnesota's really good. I think they're a good team, but I think they're overhyped. Just like last year when they beat Denver, and everybody felt like they were gonna wipe Luka with the floor, and Luka wiped them with the floor. So I think it's the same situation. When I watch OKC Thunder versus the Nuggets, you said it too. They are better than the Nuggets. Yeah. But it was a hump they had to get over. When I watched Minnesota against the Lakers, I can't fully say they're better. There were just dumb decisions the Lakers made. And like stuff happened in that series because the Minnesota they didn't play well. Like offensively, they were trash. Outside of game 1, they were not good. It was a fourth quarter that won them that series. And then the Warriors, I mean, Steph get hurt. It happens, right? But OKC went through a real test. Minnesota didn't. So I and then lastly, Anthony Edwards, I mean, you cool, but you ain't SGA. I'm sorry, AJ. He ain't SGA. He not. I'm sorry, he just not. SGA is, first of all, Anthony Edwards is younger. Let's not forget that. Anthony Edwards is 23. SGA is what, 26, 27? SGA, I said it multiple times. He's been around the block plenty of times. He's been around the block. He's been here. The game is more slow for him. Anthony Edwards, he came out at a press conference and said things like, I don't know what deep. Like, SGA ain't going to have that issue. Everything's in slow motion for him. Anthony Edwards, a year or two from now, he would get there, but he's not SGA yet. He's still young. He's still 23. He got the talent. He got the moxie, he got the confidence, but SGA just, I mean, say God. I mean, I don't know. He just different. He's different.
I'm picking OKC. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted though, bruh. Ant is that dude though, bruh. And Ant might be young, but Ant been to the conference finals before. And been on this stage. He know what this stage is like. And he been one step away from the finals before. He got an opportunity to get there this time, right? And unlike last year there was similar. Now OKC has this issue. They coming off of a grueling 7-game series, right? Coming into this game. That's in part the reason why I think they might have started slow in this game. On the other side, and you ain't going up against Kyrie Irving no more, right? Now you're going up against SGA and OKC, and now you've had some days to rest because you entered this series early coming into this Western Conference Finals. Any type of ail or injury, anything you had is out of the way. I think Anthony Edwards has the attitude and the moxie to have a series. Yeah, I think he's going to have a series now because I think Anthony Edwards has been decent this postseason, but he hasn't been like, oh my gosh, Anthony Edwards is going crazy every game. He hasn't been that. But, like, we know he has that in him, though. Like, we know that's there. Now, it's going to be tough against this OKC team because we keep talking about this defense. Mm-hmm. But I still think Anthony Edwards is Anthony Edwards. But I'm picking OKC because they just got a complete team, bro. Like they whole team. Like I'm not watching. I'm not watching the game. I look down at my phone, Joe. It's like 48-37. I'm like, dang, Wolves, okay, Wolves doing their thing. You start talking, I look over at my notes, you keep talking, I look down again, 48-44. Dang, the boys did caught up quick. Like you said, like their team, bruh, you give them an inch, they gonna take a mile. You turn the ball over once, best believe it's 2-3 more following that up. And one thing I like about them that I noticed in that Denver series, they was kind of up and down with this, but for the most part, they were really good about it. They closed quarters out extremely well, and that's huge in the postseason. Because
Yeah.
you could dominate a quarter all day long, but when it comes down to that last 1 to 2 minutes of the fourth quarter or of that quarter, and they come back and they make these runs, that's how you win games. Because teams get the confidence. Okay, we've been dominating this quarter. We call a timeout. All right, let's end the quarter strong. Get to the next quarter. Then they go on a run, and you're just like, dang, bro, we was just up. We was just up 10. Now we only up 3. SGA or somebody come out, Chet come out, Blue Dort come out, one of these guys, Wiggins come out, hit a 3 to start the next quarter. It's a tie game. Now OKC crowd into it. Now it's like, dang, bro, we ain't got no more cushion. So OKC as a team is, like I said, that's why overall when I looked at this series and how they matched up, man, I think the key for the Wolves is, again, the others. I think this series is going to be about the others. Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle are going to have to play their best basketball. But I think it's going to have to be about the others. And they got to ratchet up that. Like, they have to match the defensive intensity of OKC in this series. It's doable because they got the guys to do it. But over the long haul of a 7-game series against this team, after beating Denver, it's a tall task. And we haven't seen this yet before we move on to the next series. We haven't. Oh, SGA shooting 2 of 13 right now. Shit, my bad. We try to put it up at the same time. All right, there you go. He's shooting 2 of 13. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen it yet, right? But I'd be curious to know, Carl, since you watching, who's his primary defender right now? Is it Jaden McDaniels or is it Anthony Edwards? I'm curious to hear that right now. I'm assuming it's Jaden McDaniels. I think over the long haul of this series, how many free throws he shooting? You see it?
Shot 9 free throws. 7 to 9.
Okay. Yeah, he gonna get to the line. But the one thing that Carl saying is both of those guys for real. Interesting. I said this in the Lakers series and I said it in the Warriors series, even though I picked Minnesota to win the Warriors series but lose the Lakers series. They were not good come crunch time in the regular season. They were one of the worst teams in the league come crunch time. It's been a running theme for them over numerous regular seasons, right? Over the last or 2 or 3 regular seasons, right? And they also struggled at the crib this year. And so at some point, bruh, you want to believe a team has that switch. But do they have that switch for an entire playoff run? So where all of the habits that you built in the regular season, they just never come back to haunt you. You just close in every game. Because they closed multiple games against the Lakers. They closed multiple games against the Warriors. That's just not going to come back to haunt them. They didn't lose a home game against the Warriors, right? If I'm not mistaken, they didn't lose a home game against the Lakers either. That's just not going to come back to haunt them at all in this playoff run. Like, at some point, bruh, I feel like that's going to come back to haunt them at the worst time, in the worst game, in the worst moment. Whereas OKC was great at home. OKC knew how to close games. And then they just got over this hump of Denver. My heart is telling me, let's go and let's get to that championship. But my mind is like, bro, OKC going to win this series. That's where I'm at with it.
Well, they did lose a home game and stuff. Then he got hurt.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. My bad. Game 1. I had to rethink that. Like, did they lose it? They didn't lose one against LA though, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they did. They won at 5.
Right. So you had to bring that back up.
I do want to say one more thing before we move forward, though. I want to give SGA and Anthony Edwards props of their leadership. Like both of them like empower their players. Like you see Anthony Edwards constantly saying Jaden McDaniels my favorite player, Nas Reed my second favorite player. He constantly give everybody the praise. And you see SGA and OKC at every interview, it's the whole team collectively getting interviewed. Well, not getting interviewed, but they all there. The commercials, like Shea, not really in this. I don't remember his commercial for real when he's by himself. It's always him and his teammate. Like he's
Right.
constantly involving his teammates, let them know like yeah, I know I'm getting attention, but it's about us. And that's leadership, man. That's good leadership. You know, he's like I said, he's been around the block.
That's
He's been
fair.
around the block. You
That's
know,
fair. Hey man, moving on to the Eastern